Hi, this is Katie, and thank you for joining me on the My Senses, My Space podcast. And today I came across a word that I just wanted to explore a little bit with you. And it was the word float. And something about that brought ease to my mind. There was something about that let me feel more safe and more disconnected from my responsibilities. And I think we all deserve that from time to time. And so some other words that kind of came up with this, I'm like, well, is it always just floating? And I thought of the word gliding or being ungrounded. A lot of times we want to feel grounded in the moment, but I think we also need to feel the opposite of feeling a little ungrounded and spacey and kind of daydreaming, to have a break from life, to have a different perspective for a little while, to go inward and to not feel in the moment where you're feeling every sensation in your body, but just kind of thinking forward, being intellectual, kind of thinking about what could happen in your life, whether they're goals or they're not, just thinking about possibilities, allowing our brain to kind of relax and not think about the very next thing that you have to do, to not think about the to-do list that you have, because that's never ending, right? That to-do list will always be there. There's always something you can do. And even though if you've cleaned your house top to bottom or done every task for your business or for work, there's always something else. There is no perfection in that. And so allowing yourself to have this freedom for a little bit and thinking about what could be, what could happen in positive ways. I kind of also thought about, like, this could feel like what it is to be at the very top of the roller coaster. So you aren't pushing to be on the top, and you aren't like falling and going down the other side. There's this little bit of like floating off of your seat. And we know that as being so temporary, but what if we expanded that out? That little bit of joy that our brain gets from that moment, and see, like, what is my life about? What is the thing that brings me happiness? I also, when I think of the word float, I think of like a jellyfish floating through the sea. And there's kind of this aimlessness to that thought of, like, they don't have a certain destination that they're going, but they do have purpose, and they do live their lives, and they catch prey, and they eat, and they exist, and they are beautiful to look at. I got really inspired just thinking about a jellyfish floating and all the different beautiful designs that they are. I'm trying to think of the right word, like the beauty of them, just to look at them. I know, like, when I've seen them in aquariums, they're just like mesmerizing to look at, to watch how they pump water through their bodies to move their different colors and how long their tentacles are in there, and just how, like, the artistry of how they have been created, I find so amazing. And in that moment, I feel like I'm floating like the jellyfish in just like, what would it be like to feel like that? And I think it's just fun to experience that for a little while, of having that break. And you kind of enter this state of flow when you are thinking in that. We can experience flow when we are deep into things that we love, whether it's writing or math or accounting or gardening or anything that we're creating with our hands or thought processes. But there's also this floating with daydreaming. There's this lost sense of time where you're kind of just deep in thought. And I believe you're also experiencing flow in that, where we're kind of removing the outside world and all of its worries and just being in that moment. And a lot of times we aren't feeling our bodies. We're just kind of really into our thoughts and using our brain. So anyway, I just thought that was a really interesting thing to think about. And I would love to hear from you, because I would love to hear what float means to you. Like, what does that mean? So feel free to DM me on any social media that you're connected with me, or email me at listen@mysensesmyspace.com. And I would love to hear from you. What does float mean to you? And is it positive or negative? Or is it scary? Is it something you've never thought about? I would love to hear all of that. So until next time, thank you for joining me on the My Senses, My Space podcast.